Postman Pat and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure. There'll be knock, ring, letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
They were having a busy summer in Greendale. Alf Thompson was getting the hay in. He could just about manage to squeeze between the houses with his load. But then he wasn't counting on something of a traffic jam in the middle of the village. Pat had left his van outside the post office, and someone had left a lorry on the other side of the road. It's a job getting through. Steady does it. How's it doing on the other side? Oh dear, oh dear. Oops. I'll have to back up. Right, here we go again. It looks as though Alf is stuck. I wonder who the lorry belongs to. Phew. A right mess I've got myself into. That sounds like Miss Hubbard. She'll soon sort things out. Stop! You'll have to stop, Miss Hubbard.
Oh, what's this, Alf? How am I to get through if you block the road with your tractor?
I'm stuck, Miss Hubbard. Between Pat's van and this lorry.
Well, we can't wait here all day. Where is Pat? Pat? What's to do? Said Mrs. Goggins. Don't take on now. Pat'll be back in a minute when he's done the village letters. It's this lorry, said Miss Hubbard. Who's left it here? There's no sign of a driver.
What's going on? Said Peter Fogg. Has there been a crash?
There will be, if this lorry isn't moved, said Miss Hubbard.
It looks like a builder's lorry. What's it doing in the village? Does that mean we'll have to wait around?
I certainly hope not.
Pat should be back soon.
We need P.C. Selby.
Here is P.C. Selby. Now then. What's all this? What's going on? You can't block the road like this, you know.
Alf Thompson's stuck.
It's not my fault, it's this lorry. And Pat's van. They all talked at once. What a mix-up. Wait a minute. Now then. Here, this headlight's broken. Now then, let's get things sorted out. Who does this lorry belong to? Pat was hurrying round the village with his letters.
Pat!
Who's that calling? Oh, it's Sarah, Pat's wife.
Must be your forgetting day, Pat. You went off without your sandwiches. Here we are. Special delivery.
Just like a parcel, said Pat. I'd better not pop them in somebody's letterbox by mistake.
You'll be hungry if you do. Bye.
Bye, and thanks. Left a bit. They still hadn't sorted the traffic
over to your
jam.
right. Stop. Left again. Now, a little to your right. Straight now. Straight. Stop. That's it. Hard over now.
Left, he says, then right. Wish he'd make up his mind.
Keep to your right. Back up a little. No, back again. Come straight on.
You'll never get through there, you know. Alf, stop! Oh, over to the left. Mind the van.
Come on, Alf.
Oh, dear.
Stop. Back up a little. Then hard down on your left. Stop. You'll have to go back again. Now, hard over to your left.
What have we here?
You can't leave the place 5 minutes and look at it. Back a little. Now hard over to you. Oops. Mind the van.
No, right. Right, I
You've got
said.
me all of a muzzle. I'm staying put till somebody moves that lorry. Hang on, said Ted. I'll give you a hand.
Ted's lorry?
So sorry, everyone, said Major Forbes. Ted's just giving me a hand at the hall. Borrowed the lorry. First traffic jam in Greendale, what? Soon be off.
Morning, everybody.
Just a word, Pat. Urgent parcel coming from London. Bought these tin soldiers for my collection. Now take good care of it. There's a good chap, what?
Don't you worry, Major, said Pat. I'll see you get it safe and sound, the way you always do.
Good man. Bye for now.
Bye.
You see, PC Sonny, it's quite easy when you know how.
At last Alf could get on his way. Miss Hubbard decided she had wasted enough time and moved off, whilst Peter Fogg started up his motorbike again, leaving PC Selby and Jess with the road to themselves. Pat was helping Mrs. Goggins to sort the rest of the letters and parcels. There were 2 parcels with no address. Mrs. Goggins found a label that had come unstuck.
Oh, it's this modern glue, said Mrs. Goggins. They're forever dropping off. Now, which one shall I put it on?
I think it's off that one, said Pat.
But that leaves one without an address, said Mrs. Goggins.
Don't worry, said Pat. As soon as somebody says, "Where's my parcel?" I'll know it must be theirs. Simple.
Oh, I'd never have thought of that. Goodbye, Pat. Mind how you go.
Bye. Now then, Jess, we'd better take the Major's parcel first. It's something special. Toy soldiers. Pat was on his way. Pat arrives at Garner Hall. Won't be long, Jess. Looks as though the Major's busy. I could have sworn the bell was working. Whoops. Anybody in? Hello? Major? Major Forbes? Anyone at home? I'll leave the parcel here. It'll be quite safe. What's that? Must be me imagining things. Where is everybody? They must be having a tea break. Pat was on his way. That's just the place for a quiet picnic, Jess. Under that tree. Under that tree will do nicely. Whew, that was a warm climb, but it was worth it. Now, let's see. Tuck in, Jess. There's nothing like a quiet picnic. This is a funny sandwich. Oh, no. It's the Major's toy soldiers. How did they get into my lunch? Oh, what a noodle I am. I've got the wrong parcel. I must have left my sandwiches on the hall table in the Major's house. It was this parcel that the address fell off. Come on, Jess. Back to the Major's. He'll be thinking his soldiers have run away. Down at Garner Hall, the Reverend Timms was trying to cheer the Major up, and P.C. Selby was looking for footprints. Anything the matter? Asked Pat. What's going on?
Robbery, said the Major. That's what's going on, Pat. My collection of soldiers. Gone, all gone, what? Marched off without a sound. But there's a funny thing. The robbers left their sandwiches behind.
Oh, no, said Pat. They were my sandwiches. You see, I muddled the parcels up. My sandwiches and your soldiers. I left my sandwiches on your hall table, and your parcel of soldiers was still in my bag. And here it is.
Pat, you're a genius, said the Major. You've saved my new soldiers from the robbers, what? The best of the bunch, too. Good man.
But I'm still hungry, said Pat.
The Lord will provide,
said the Reverend Timms. I'll just pop in for my sandwiches.
Now then, Pat, said P.C. Selby, I'll have to ask you for a statement. You can't go in there, Pat. Not till we've looked for fingerprints.
But I want my sandwiches, said Pat.
Those sandwiches are evidence, said P.C. Selby. Evidence, Pat, that's what they are. Nobody can touch 'em, not till the CID get here from Pencaster. And goodness knows when that'll be.
I wonder if Sarah's got something nice for lunch, said Pat. I'm so hungry, Jess. I think we'll have to pop home and see. Bye.
Bye, old chap.
Bye, Pat. Home sweet home. Hello, anyone at home? It's me.
Oh, you've never lost your sandwiches after all, have you? Said Sarah.
Not lost, said Pat, but they're evidence now.
Oh, well, I never.
And Pat had to tell her the whole story of the robbery at Garner Hall. Jess was too busy to listen. I'll have to be on my way, said Pat. There are still lots of letters to be delivered. Robbery or no robbery.
Now, you'll be passing the school just about the right time to pick young Julian up, said Sarah. Save me a trip.
All right, I'll not forget. Bye for now. Come on, Jess. We haven't finished yet. In you get. Pat was on his way again. What's happened to Peter Fogg?
Hello, Pat.
Having trouble?
I certainly am. My front wheel brakes have locked. Nearly threw me over the handlebars.
I'll ask Ted Glenn to pop along with his toolkit. Here's something to read while you're waiting.
Oh, good. It's my motorbike magazine. Great. Bye, Pat, and thanks.
Pat called at Thompson Ground. Alf was helping Ted load some wood onto the lorry.
Hello, Pat.
Pat had some letters for Alf.
Come and have a cuppa,
Said Alf.
Dorothy's sure to have the kettle on.
He was right.
Just the job.
Hello, Pat.
What's all this about a robbery at the hall?
Said Alf. Pat had to tell the whole story again from the beginning. Oh, said Pat, I nearly forgot with all this talk about the robbery. Peter Fogg's stuck with his motorbike. He's broken down, about 2 miles back. Do you think you could give him a hand, Ted?
No trouble. I'll pick him up when we've got this wood loaded.
Thanks for the tea, said Pat. Goodbye.
Bye, Pat.
Bye.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Pat's next stop was at Intake Farm. He met P.C. Selby coming out. Any news of the robbery? Asked Pat.
Good news and bad news, said P.C. Selby. They caught the robbers on the road to Pencaster, but there's no sign of the collection of toy soldiers.
Bye for now.
Cheerio, Pat.
There was a newspaper for George Lancaster. Pat set out to find him. But where had he got to?
Looking for me, Pat?
Oh, you made me jump, George. I thought the robbers were after me. Here's your Hen Farmer's Weekly.
Oh, thanks, Pat.
Then George told Pat how he dreamt he was being chased by a giant hen, which flew away just before he woke up. It's time I was flying away, said Pat. I'm supposed to be collecting young Julian from school. Now, where has that cat got to? He might be after rabbits down the field, said George. He likes my rabbits, does your Jess? They went to look. Jess! Jess!
Jess! Jess! He sometimes comes round here. No sign of him, though.
Jess! Jess! Pat found Jess with his rear end sticking out of a rabbit hole. Here he is, George.
I think he's got himself stuck.
Pat took hold of his cat as gently as possible and
Daisy?
pulled.
Oh!
Something small and heavy rolled into the grass. George picked it up and looked at it. What's Jess found? Said Pat.
Looks like one of these old tin soldiers,
Said George.
I used to have a box full when I was a lad. Could do with a bit of a clean.
Did you say a tin soldier? Said Pat.
Yes, why?
The robbery. You must have heard. Hang on. Pat thrust his arm down the rabbit hole as far as it would go and brought out a shopping bag. He looked inside and found it full of toy soldiers. Jess has found the loot, said Pat. The robbers must have hidden them on their way to Pencaster. They must have passed your gate.
Clever cut, said George.
I must get these back to the Major, said Pat. He will be pleased. Keep an eye on these, Jess.
Bye, Pat.
Bye. Never mind, Jess. The Major will be so pleased to have his soldiers back. I'm sure he'll give you something nice. Pat remembered to pick Julian up from school. Am I late?
Huh, not much, Dad.
On the way, he told Julian all about the robbery and how Jess had found the soldiers down a rabbit hole. Garner Hall at last. Ted and the Major were still busy with the roof.
What's the fellow doing here again, eh, what?
Special delivery, Major.
What, in a scruffy plastic bag? Bless my eyes, it's my soldiers! My precious soldiers! Thank you, Pat, you're a stout fellow.
And Pat told the whole story yet again.
But it was Jess that found them, said Julian. Wasn't it?
It's a good place to hide something, said Ted. Down a rabbit hole. Now, who'd think of looking there?
We'd better be off home, said Pat. Sarah will think we've got lost.
Take this with you, said Ted, and make sure you look at page 2.
Thanks, Ted. I will. I don't know why Ted wants me to read the paper, said Pat. Bye.
Bye, Pat, and thanks again.
Julian couldn't wait to see what it was.
Oh, it's about a reward. For anyone who finds the Major's soldiers, £500.
Well, I never, said Pat. That'd buy a lot of fish for Jess. It's time to go home and tell Sarah all our news.
Let me tell her first.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat.
Bom 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 bom, dum dum dilly dum bom bom, brum bom bom, bum bom 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 bom. Dee 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 dum dum dum, bum bom bom.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe never be sure they'll be knocked. Bring letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
It is breakfast time in Greendale. If you knock on Pat's door and go in, you'll see Sarah bustling about.
Julian, it's time you were off.
Pat is finishing his breakfast. Time I was off too. Julian is getting ready for school.
Right. Off you go. Bye, Mum. Bye.
Jess, have you seen my hat? Where did I put it? Ah, there it is. Time we were off. It's not our usual day today, Jess. Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Pat. Good luck.
Bum, bum, boo, bum, bum, boo, bum, 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 boo.
Hold on tight, Jess. Off we go. Sam Waldron's out early too. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Pat. Where's your van, Pat?
Can't stop. Taking the bus.
A bus? What's he on about?
Major Forbes has spotted the new notice in the post office window.
Dashed good idea, what?
It'll be extra work for Pat, though, said Mrs. Pottage.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, Pat.
Hello, Jess. Come on, Katie. Time for school. Bye, Pat.
Bye, Katie. Morning, Mrs. Goggins. We're ready to go. Hope you've got the keys safely.
Oh, yes, Pat. And a fine morning to you, too. Here they are.
Oh, thanks very much. This is exciting. I'll pop back in for the letters when I've got her warmed up. I left it down the next street, out of the way. Somewhere round this corner. Ah, there she is. I wonder why Pat has left his van round the corner. Here he comes. What's this? It's not his usual van. It's new. It's a Royal Mail post bus.
You are going to be busy, Pat, now that you're to pick up passengers as well as deliver and collect the mail.
I know. Granny Dryden wants a ride into Ingledale to do her shopping.
Oh, that reminds me. You'd best see if the Reverend wants a lift. His old car broke down on Wednesday.
I'll not forget. Cheerio.
Bye, Pat.
The post bus stops outside the church. The Reverend Timms didn't seem to be ready. Pat had some letters for him.
Oh, Pat, I wanted to go into Ingledale on your lovely new post bus today, but oh dear. I found these knots in my handkerchief, and I know they're to remind me about something, but bless me, I cannot think what it is.
Well, Reverend, I won't be able to keep my passengers waiting. I'll have to be on my way.
Don't wait for me, Pat. I'll get the old bicycle out, if I remember in time.
Well, here's your mail anyway. Goodbye, Reverend.
Bye, Pat.
Off he went to the next stop. Granny Dryden was ready and waiting for Pat, with her stick and shopping bag. The door's on the other side, Granny Dryden.
Well, Pat, this is something new. What a lovely way to go shopping.
Mind the step.
Oh!
Whoops-a-daisy. Pat was feeling quite excited now that he had his first passenger. Off we go, Jess.
Oh, Pat, stop, I've forgotten me hat.
Oh, dear. Back we go.
I won't be long. I knew I'd forget summit.
I wonder if we'll ever get to Ingledale, Jess. Ah, here she comes. It was a lovely hat. A pity to leave it behind. All aboard. I just hope she hasn't forgotten anything else. I think we have another passenger, Jess. Miss Hubbard must have a lot of shopping to do.
Stop! 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 Thank you, Pat. If you could pass me a bag or two.
Certainly, Miss Hubbard. Pat helps with the shopping baskets and carrier bags. It was a struggle to fit everything in.
Thank you, Pat. Good morning, Granny Dryden.
All safe and sound? At last they were able to move off. There's Ted Glenn waiting by his workshop. What's he up to? He usually goes into town in his Land Rover.
I'll ride into Ingledale with you, Pat. I need a new gearbox for the Land Rover.
Oh, Ted, do look where you're putting your big feet.
Sorry, Miss Hubbard. I didn't see your old basket there.
It isn't an old basket, Ted, though it looks it after being stuck on your foot.
It used to be a lot quieter carrying letters and parcels, didn't it, Jess? They went on their way at last. Over the hills, round to the right, and along bumpy country lanes, round to the left. Was Pat trying to catch up on lost time?
Oh, slow down, Pat. You're making me all wobbly.
Now what? Pat had to slow down because of Sam Waldron's mobile shop. It was a tight squeeze.
Come on, Pat. Left hand down a bit. Take it slowly, or you'll scratch your new post bus.
Pat, how about a little light refreshment? I'm sure Sam has something we can buy.
Yes, a biscuit would be nice.
It seemed a good idea.
Can I give you a hand, Miss Hubbard?
Oh, thank you, Ted.
Pat decided to check a nearby letterbox.
Well, I've got biscuits, oatmeal, chocolates to drink, Sam.
He found 2 letters.
Orange juice.
You have ginger biscuits?
Oh, I can't eat those.
These
They're
little
too
cakes
hard.
are nice.
You'll all be spent up before you get to Ingledale, said Pat. And we really should be on our way. I have the letters to deliver as well as you know.
I haven't finished me biscuits.
Take 'em with you. Mind the step, Granny Dryden. After you, Miss Hubbard.
Bye, Pat. And thanks.
Have we left any behind, Jess? That's one thing about letters. They never get out for a biscuit. He passes by Garner Hall.
Hello, Pat.
Good luck, old fellow.
Oh dear. What now? What's PC Selby doing?
Stop! Stop! Sorry, Pat. You can't go this way. The old bridge isn't safe. It's all this rain. These floods are dreadful.
Oh dear, and we're running late as well.
I know a shortcut. Just go straight on this way.
Thanks, PC Selby.
Sorry about the bother, Pat. Then left, past the signpost. Down here. Don't worry, you'll be all right.
Don't worry, he says.
Feels like a plowed field.
Watch the gate.
Just enough room. I hope Ted knows what he's doing.
I knew it. We're lost. You don't know which way from t'other, young Ted.
That's not fair. I've been this way dozens of times. It looks a bit different today, that's all.
Oh!
Now where?
We're lost.
There was only one way to go.
Oh, please, ride me over.
I know where we are. This is the road to Thompson Ground. There were letters to deliver. And Alf was waiting to see the new post bus.
Hello, Pat. Usual delivery, Alf.
Thank you, Ted.
Hello, Dot.
Hello, Ted. Hello, Miss Hubbard.
Granny Dryden was asleep. She woke up.
Where are we? Are we there? Where's the market?
Ted was looking at Alf's tractor.
It just won't come off. It will.
Well, she told me.
Lord save us. Look out! Ah, oh heavens! Ouch! Was that the Reverend? Let's go and see. You all right, Reverend? What a ride! Thank the Lord, Alf, that you have hay in your barn. Oh, but I remember now. That's what the knots were for. 1, to remember my sister's birthday. 2, to remember to post her present.
And 3, said Pat.
To get new brakes for my bicycle. Why don't you go to town in the post bus? And I'll mend your bike for you. I'll bring it round to the vicarage tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Alf.
Time we were on our way, said Pat.
All aboard. I think I'll sit in front with Jess. I'm sure he won't mind.
Next stop, Ingledale.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Ingledale at last. Everybody back here, please, at 2 o'clock.
We'll not be late, said Miss Hubbard.
But when 2 o'clock came, Granny Dryden was missing. We can't go without her, said Pat.
I'll go and look for her, said Miss Hubbard. She'll be in the market, getting potatoes.
I wonder where she's got to.
She'll be having a good gossip somewhere. Oh, there you are. Have you seen Miss Hubbard? She's looking for you,
Looking for me?
said Granny Dryden.
I wasn't lost.
I'll tell you what. You sit in the bus, and I'll go and look for Miss Hubbard.
No sooner had Ted gone than Miss Hubbard came back.
Oh, I can't find Granny Dryden anywhere, she said. I think we'll have to report her missing. Oh, there she is in the bus. How did she get there?
Well, you see,
And where's Ted gone?
looking for you.
But I'm not lost.
I know you're not lost, but... Oh, never mind. We'll just have to wait. And I don't know when we're going to get back to Greendale. I think I'll sit in the bus and read my paper. But Ted soon came back, and they set off home again. There were letters and a parcel to take to George Lancaster at Intake Farm. George was collecting the eggs.
Hey, there's Pat.
Hello, George.
Hello, Pat. I like your new post bus. It's a great idea. Do you think I could take a dozen hens to the market in it tomorrow?
Indeed not, said Miss Hubbard. Just think of the feathers. We'd all be sneezing for a week. Oh, but what lovely eggs. May I buy half a dozen, please? I forgot to get some at the market.
There you are, 6 lovely fresh eggs, Miss Hubbard.
Thank you, George.
Mind you don't break them.
It was soon time to be on their way.
Bye, Pat.
There's Dorothy waving from her gate. What can be the matter?
Oh, Pat, she said. Mrs. Goggins has been on the phone. She's ever so worried. She's wondering where you've all got to. Thinks you've had an accident with the new post bus. Why not come in and give her a ring? You must all come in for a cup of tea and a cake,
Said Dorothy.
You're welcome. You must be parched after your trip.
Most kind.
Oh, Mrs. Goggins does worry so. Hello, Mrs. Goggins. Yes. No, we haven't been to Blackpool, just Ingledale. All safe and sound. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.
What a time we've had. It's a wonder Pat managed to get us all home again.
Now, don't you worry about your old bike, Reverend. I've given it a good oiling. It's as good as new. It just needs some new brake pads. I'll pop round with it tomorrow.
More tea, Granny Dryden?
Well, just one more cup.
There was a saucer of milk for Jess. Come on, everybody. Time to be off.
Hang on, Pat. I'll help you turn in the yard. Back you come. Come on. Careful. Stop. Right. Off you go.
It had been a long day. The next stop was at Miss Hubbard's cottage. Here we are, Miss Hubbard. Your stop.
Just a minute, Pat. Mustn't forget anything.
Careful as you get out. Mind the step.
Thank you, Pat. Goodbye.
Then it was Granny Dryden's turn. Here, let me give you a hand down, Granny Dryden.
Thanks, Pat. Me hat! I've lost me hat!
Here it is. Looks as though she's been sitting on it.
Thanks, Ted. I'll see you to your door, Granny Dryden.
Thanks, Pat.
Bum 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 bum.
Bye, Ted.
Bye, Pat.
The last stop before home was at the church.
Thank you. My goodness, it's been quite a day. Oh, Pat, I still have a knot in my handkerchief.
Now then, Reverend, said Pat, is it a new one, or just one that you forgot to undo?
I've forgotten, said the Reverend. Oh, dear. Goodbye, Pat.
Time we remembered to go home, Jess.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat.
Bum 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 bum.